Today is the 29th of August 2023, and I'd like to talk to you about integers. And today we are going to look at adding and subtracting integers. We began this yesterday, okay? But before I start today's lesson, I would like to say thank you to everyone who has been watching our videos, okay? Please subscribe, share, like, and follow us. It will be very much appreciated. And if you are using a parent or somebody's account, please ask for permission before you do it. Don't just subscribe because you are watching from the account, and please ask for permission. Okay, thank you very much on that. I normally write in the comment section, please follow my note/scripts. Okay, these are my notes. I make them, I go over again and again to see how I can present it to you so that you understand, and also to make sure that I'm helping you the best I can, okay? But there are times, for instance, this is minus 15, okay? So if I say 15, it's minus 15, because at times when I finish the recording, I go over, upload, and then when I upload, I watch it again to see how it's coming off at the platform. Okay, so please, that's why I do it in sections, and I don't show you everything on my script, so that you can follow me as I go along and understand. Okay, so please, whatever I'm pointing on is what I'm explaining. So for instance, assuming I say 15 degrees, it's just minus 15, okay? I'll really appreciate your help on that, okay? And thank you very much. Today, I'll recap, and then the last thing I want to talk about is scammers. Beware of them. Okay, if somebody asks you money for online concerning linking to this video, it's not coming from me. Okay, dismiss it straight away. It's not. So please don't give your money. I'm not asking for any money for these videos. Okay, just watch it, let it help you, and go and pass your Gcse. Okay, and the best wishes if you are going to write next year. Okay, recap. We've done a lot of work on positive numbers, but at times when you give a negative number to a student, at times they become muddied a bit. Okay, so I thought it was time for me to start introducing you to negative numbers. So yesterday I said to you, this word, mathematical word integers, are whole numbers, negative whole numbers, positive whole numbers, including 0. Okay, and then I showed you a few on the number line. Okay, so we said mixed fractions, decimals, those are not integers. Integers are whole numbers. So minus 10, minus 9, are integers. 0 is an integer. 4, 15, all of these are integers. So we wanted to look at how we add and subtract, and then go ahead and look at how we multiply and divide. So yesterday I started showing you a few examples, and then we try to order them. Okay, so for instance, we use the number line a lot. Okay, so now example here is -5 minus 10. So I said to you, think about it like money. So for instance, assuming you borrowed £5, okay, this is -5, and you went back and borrowed another 10. Now you owe -15, okay, -35 minus 75. So the same rationale. So now -110. And then we said that -15 is -15, this one, is greater than -10. Okay, we did all this. Now, before I go on to today's lesson, I want to do a short starter to just remind you. Okay, 1, performing an experiment or doing a survey are methods of collecting primary data. So yesterday I spoke to you about primary and secondary data. Primary data, that is one you collected yourself. Secondary data is one that you reference. Okay, you take from a source, a book, an article. Okay, but you have to try and make sure that it's a credible source. Okay, so performing an experiment or doing a survey are methods of collecting data. So if you want to do, you can do your own survey. So you can take like a street and go knock on a house and see how many people have cars, maybe a type of car and make, okay, and use that to make a judgment or a conclusion. Maybe you go on the street and most of them have a particular car and most of them have a particular color. Okay, or you can knock on the doors and say how many people belong to a particular energy company. Okay, now to population implies the sample or the data. So if you do it just on the street, that is your sample. Okay, if you do it in an area, that is a sample. If you do it in your neighborhood, that is your population sample here. That is where your data is coming from. Okay, but if you want, the population implies sample data collected represent the whole picture, and at times it does not represent the whole picture. Okay, so if you guess go on the streets and take a neighborhood and then look at the make of the cars they drive, and then you use that to make a judgment for the whole of UK, it's not right, because it's far from the truth. You have to take a sample. Okay, so you don't just limit your population to one section. You should take few samples from the north, south, east, and west. And maybe you include different neighborhoods as well. So there is the poor, the middle class, and the rich. So you include a bit of those. Okay, then you have a proper sample so that your sample doesn't become biased. This word, okay? Therefore, you must allow appropriate size to avoid bias. Okay, you don't want your sample to be biased. So if I'm doing a survey for the whole of UK and I don't want to do a census is the whole population, but I can do my sample such that across the whole length and breadth of UK, I am trying to get an opinion. Okay, so I don't become biased. If I do guess the north, then my sample, I can't use that judgment for the whole country. And if I do guess the south, I can't use that judgment for the whole country. You have to do the whole length. But because you don't have enough finances to do everybody, you have to choose samples that if you look at it, reflects the whole of the country. I hope I'm making some sense here. Today, let's start our lesson by ordering integers in ascending order. When you say ascending order, it means the smallest first to the largest. So these are the integers: minus 3,000, minus 8, minus 120, minus 46, 16, minus 1215, and 35. Okay, these are just integers. Okay, they are just numbers. Okay, at the moment we want to work with just numbers to get our head around negative numbers, and then we'll start introduce it in money, in temperature, and in stuff. Okay, so in ascending order means in increasing order. So I've drawn a number line but not to scale. So this is my 0, 16, 35. But when you go here in towards your left, minus 8, minus 46, minus 120, minus 1215, and minus 3000. So they said increase in order. So we are going in this direction. So the first one will be 3,000. Okay, then I've just repeated it. So 3,000. Then 12 minus 1215. Okay, then minus 120. Then minus 46. Minus 8. Okay, 16 and 35. That is from the smallest to the highest. Now, if they said descending order, that would be from the largest to the smallest. So it will be the other way around. Sorry. So I've listed that also for you using the same numbers. So 35, 16. So 35, 16, minus 8, minus 46, minus 120, minus 1215, minus 3000. Okay, so take note of these two words: ascending order, descending order. Ascending means smallest to the largest. Descending means largest to the smallest. So if you get a question like this, whether if they say smallest to largest, you understand that. But if they say ascending order, it means you should order them with the smallest first and end with the largest. Okay, if they said descending order, it means from the largest first and end with the smallest. If you are confused, use the number line. Okay, yesterday I did and explained the number line. Okay, especially with negative numbers. So you can watch yesterday's video and it will help you a lot. Now, adding integers. Okay, now example, we started yesterday. So minus 10, add 5. So you start from minus 10, then you add 5. Add means you are moving towards the right. Minus means you are moving towards the left. Okay, so now here, minus 10, add 5. So you have minus 5. So you saw that even if you add 5, you'll still be in the negative. So that will be minus 5. Okay, this is not to scale. It's not to scale. Now let's look at some examples on adding. All these are whole numbers, so they are integers. So minus 5, add minus 6. Okay, minus, so it will be minus 11. Okay, minus 17, minus 12. So it will be minus 29. Because you had a negative 17 and then you added more negatives. Okay, so you are going towards the left. Minus 21, add 10. So you had a negative 21. Okay, then you went to add a positive 10. So now you have minus 11. Minus 47, add 49. So you had a negative 47. But this time around, you went to add a bigger positive number. So now you have a positive 2. Okay. Minus 100, add minus 200. Okay, so now you have a negative 100. Then you went back and added another negative. So you have minus 300. Okay, take a deep breath. Okay, and just watch it. Pause. Finish. Go back. I promise you, by the time you watch it twice or thrice, you get your head around negative numbers. Because if you can make sense of any basic stuff, you need to understand. You shouldn't be put off when you see negative numbers. Okay. Now let's look at subtracting of integers or subtraction. So here, 8 minus 7. Okay, so in math, minus becomes add. So for instance, if you had the number line, you were at 8 and you want to take away minus 7. Okay, so instead of moving backwards, you have to move forward. So when you rewrite this, it becomes 8 add 7, which is 15. 2 minus 3, the same principle here. So it's 2 add 3 equals 5. 14 minus 3. Okay, so 14 add 3. Immediately you see 2 minus, okay, it becomes add. So 14 add 3, now you have 17. 10 minus 15. Okay, so 10 plus 15 becomes 25. 15 minus 20. So 15 add 20 becomes 35. So that is why I've brought similar thing here. Immediately you see 2 minus, it becomes positive. Or if you use the number line, you start from the first number and then minus, okay, instead of going backwards, because of the -7, -7, it becomes a plus, so now you go forward. Okay, I'm going to pause here a bit so that you can have time to look at it. Okay, if you get this principle, then you should be okay. All right. Okay, so this is the second bit. Now let's look at some more of this. Okay, another set of minus and subtracted of integers. So here 3 minus 5 is minus 2. So you have 3 and then you go and take 5. You'll be left with a negative. 12 minus 17 minus 5 again. If the first number, okay, is smaller than the next number you are going to take, you are going to get a negative. So for instance, if you have 20 pounds in your account and you go and spend 30 pounds, then you'll be left negative 10 pounds. This is what this means. Okay, but these are numbers. 6 minus 16 is minus 10. 14 minus 20 is minus 6. Okay, 42 minus 50 is minus 8. So you had 42 pounds in your account, in your bank account. Then you went to make a payment of 50 pounds. Okay, now you owe 8 pounds. Okay, but here we are dealing with numbers. Okay, now let's look at the next set of subtracted of integers. So the first number is minus, and then we've already done this. Minus is plus. So when we add minus 3 plus 14, we have minus 3 plus 14 equals 11. Okay, because this is the same as 14 minus 3. Minus 5 minus 10 is the same as minus 5 add 10. You remember the examples we did a while ago. Minus is always add. So now here you can see it as 10 minus 5, which is 5. Okay. Minus 8 minus 3 is minus 8, add 3. So this, now you have minus 5. So this can be seen as 3 minus 8, which is minus 5. Minus 7 minus 15. So this is minus 7 add 15, which is equal to 8. Okay. So the minus become plus. So minus 7 add 15, or 15 minus 7. Okay. It's like 2 add 3 or 3 add 2. Okay. If you turn them around, remember the minus is on the 7. Okay. So now you have 15 minus 7, which will give you 8. Minus 10 minus 20. So it becomes minus 10 add 20. So now the minus affects the 10. So you can see it as 20 minus 10, and it's 10. Okay. Now, I've just chosen some integers at random, and I've made a subtraction square. Okay, so this is the square. If you can see, okay, so you can decide to write the numbers out and pause and do it yourself and see if you get what I got in the box. Okay, but this is 7 minus 7, which is 14, because we just said minus 7 is add. So the same way, 7 minus 6 is 13. 7 minus 5 is 12. 7 minus 0 is 7. 7 minus 5 is 2. 7 minus 6 is 1. 7 minus 7 is 0. Okay. Now let's do the 6. 6 minus 7 is 14. Because now 6 minus becomes a plus. 6 minus 6 is 12. 6 minus 5 is 11. 6 minus 0 is 6. 6 minus 5 is 1. 6 minus 6 is 0. 6 minus 7 is minus 1. 5 minus 7 is 12. 5 minus 6 is 11. 5 minus 5 is 10. 5 minus 0 is 5. 5 minus 5 is 0. 5 minus 6 is minus 1. 5 minus 7 is minus 2. Now 0 minus 7 is 7. 0 minus 6 is 6. 0 minus there minus 5 is 5. 0 minus 0 is 0. 0 minus 5 is minus 5. 0 minus 6 is minus 6. 0 minus 7 is minus 7. Minus 5 minus 7. So it's the same as minus 5 plus 7 becomes 2. Minus 5 minus 6, 1. Minus 5 minus 5 is 0. Minus 5 minus 0 is minus 5. Minus 5 minus 5 is minus 10. Minus 5 minus 6 is minus 11. Minus 5 minus 7, okay, is minus 12. Minus 6 minus 7, okay, so it's minus 6 plus 7 is 1. Minus 6 minus 6 is 0. Minus 6 minus 5 is minus 1. Minus 6 minus 0 is minus 6. Minus 6 minus 5 is minus 11. Minus 6 minus 6 is minus 12. Minus 6 minus 7 is minus 13. Minus 7 minus 7 becomes plus. So that would be minus 7 plus 7, which is 0. Minus 7 minus 6 is minus 1. Minus 7 minus 5 is minus 2. Minus 7 minus 0 is minus 7. Minus 7 minus 5 is minus 12. Minus 7 minus 6 is minus 13. Minus 7 minus 7 is minus 14. Okay, so this is the ordered subtraction square. Okay, we could have done add. Okay, we could do times and divide. Okay, but I wanted to show you, so I'm going to just pause a few seconds and then you use these numbers, okay, and try and fill in the table yourself and see if you get these numbers, okay, using the examples I've given you. Okay, thank you very much for watching our lesson today, and I'll see you next lesson.